I want to first get this out of the way and establish that I am a massive fan of all the potential award nominees this year. Recently, as I have done for years, I sat down to catch up on all the films that are buzzing around town, gaining traction and priming themselves for potential Best Picture nominations at the Oscars and other noteworthy award shows and events. I thought The Power of the Dog and The Lost Daughter were brilliant, moving, insightful, and immensely thoughtful movies. While I was impressed at their content, performance, and overall filmmaking, I had one prevailing thought that I could not shake no matter how many times I watched Olivia Colman play with a doll. Damn, these are depressing as hell. It hit me harder than ever watching this year's nominees that it seems we have a problem as a film society with believing a film of substance has to be about a dismal topic that reflects the sadness of our own world with no potential for positive resolution. It has very much become a given this time of year that we will be setting ourselves up for some incredibly heavy and powerful films that will cover intense and very thoughtful subjects. While that has long been true, it feels increasingly that they are also becoming progressively more dour. I certainly enjoy films that have strong content and emotion behind them, but in all honesty, if I were given the choice, I don't think I'm alone in believing a lot of us would much rather watch and comment on something more uplifting and life-affirming. The famous saying of life imitates art has become taken as some sort of sacred text and blueprint nowadays when it comes to the films that we expect to be featured in the awards race every year. The line has been drawn in the sand and gotten clearer and clearer with each successful Marvel film and each The Power of the Dog that comes out. That there are really two Hollywoods when it comes to feature films, and that we have lost the ability to marry these two ideas of filmmaking. You can either be a massively monetarily successful blockbuster film that reaches millions of people, or you can be a direct-to-streaming auteur film, more interested in saying something hyper-specific with what ultimately equates to being another sad look at a leading character's life. I do not want this to be perceived as though I am pro one or the other. I loved Endgame as much as I loved The Lost Daughter, and hate that there feels to be some sort of disconnect between the art forms. It will be increasingly important to see how this divide develops in the next few years, as the pandemic has accelerated a change that had been brewing for quite a while in terms of what is seen in theaters and what will go directly to streaming services. Looking back at the awards films of years past, it seems to me like there was a time and a place where you could have something to say and make a film with meaning, while also ultimately crafting an uplifting and positive resolution to the story that you're telling. Life is already tremendously hard, and we live in such an incredibly turbulent, unprecedented times, so the idea of being able to turn on a film that makes us feel all aspects of the human experience doesn't feel like too much to ask for. Why have we allowed ourselves to create bleak stories with impressive filmmaking? Again, I am not coming from a place of not enjoying the depth and character of these potential nominees, but with as hard as the world is, what if these incredibly talented filmmakers channeled their energy into making something to make us feel optimism? These films are so powerful and well made that it can be hard not to watch and know they will never reach as wide as an audience as they can just due to their content. Those powerful stories of the human experience should be the movies we celebrate as a society overall, not just in our insular and guarded filmmaking community, which is ultimately what ends up happening each year. I would love to be able to encourage those close to me to watch The Lost Daughter, but in all reality, without the buzz behind its potential win on the awards circuit, most people would probably switch it off in the first 20 minutes. They would be missing a hauntingly beautiful film, but at the same time, I can't blame someone with limited free time who is looking to escape the hardships of their day-to-day for turning to something brighter and more relaxing that doesn't leave them feeling so grim. I still need to catch up on a few of the potential nominees, but at this point, my favorite of the season has to have been Coda, A film that was widely loved at last year's Sundance Film Festival shines as a heavy story with tremendous performances. The film triumphs in its exploration of the pain and suffering of the human condition, while also celebrating what it means to feel pain and grow from your experiences. Coda stands out to me this year as what should be considered a classic Best Picture nominee. A film featuring a powerful script, great acting, and a roller coaster of emotions with actual optimistic resolution to me is the type of film that should be celebrated this time of year.
What? Oh my God. Oh my God.
Sour is such a one-note emotion, and I would appreciate our most talented filmmakers to reflect life and make us feel as though there is a sadness and struggle in the world. However, like in reality and our experiences as humans, we must persevere and triumph in the face of such darkness. It feels too often now we are obsessed with the idea of making our films sad to be sad. Understanding the world is to understand that everyone in life is going through some form of hardship daily, but that we need to fight through and overcome it. Films like Coda are a refreshing reminder that you can have a strong balance of powerful filmmaking and a positive outlook with wide audience appeal. The film doesn't revel in the hardships its characters endure, and instead shines as it shows you can move on from the negative and overcome. Another potential positive for the future of filmmaking comes in its ability to cross over for different filmmakers. The insanely talented filmmaker Chloe Zhao was behind last year's magnificent Best Picture winning Nomadland, and also Eternals, a new Marvel release. Nomadland, like Coda, is at face value a downbeat story about someone trying to overcome their circumstances in the face of great odds. While loss and sadness play heavily throughout the film is ultimately an uplifting story of someone finding their meaning in a new world. It may not be realistic, but I am personally holding out hope for a time where directors like Zhao don't have to bounce between the two worlds of filmmaking, and instead endeavor to blend these two worlds together.
I have always found goodness in the people I met everywhere I went in the world. So this is for anyone who has the faith and the courage to hold on to the goodness in themselves and to hold on to the goodness in each other, no matter how difficult it is to do that.